Welcome in. It is a Tuesday, and it is time for Views from the Stands. I'm your host, Stevie B, Steve Brennan, and we are back at full strength. We got the GM in the building, Mr. G Mike, and we got Mr. BC in the building. It's been a couple of weeks since we've all three been together, so it is quite frankly, all the boys are back in town, man. We got a whole fun-filled packed show for you today. We'll be bringing back one of our favorite segments we did last year. That's Brandon's Bullpen, with the baseball playoffs in full swing, and I do not mean that with any bit of pun, but it is in full swing, and today's day has been great for baseball. We got the Red Sox and Yankees going on as we speak, so we'll be letting you know how that goes. As you can see right now, if you're not listening, I'm a Red Sox fan, and Mr. G Mike is a New York Yankees fan, and somehow we still talk.
Ooh.
Having said that, we also are going to be getting into some news. Had some major news come out of the NFL the last couple of days. Some big injuries. It's going to be problematic for some teams, I feel like. And then we also got our fun-filled DownBad Debate to close out the show. And we're also going to go jump back in because we had a lot of fun doing this last week. Our week 5. Going into the power rankings for the NFL. So I'm really looking forward to that one as well. Before we get to all of that good stuff, the Red Sox just got a double, and we got ourselves a game. They're on second and third right up at the 7th. Just wanted to throw that one out there for the live check-in. Before we get into this all good sports stuff, why don't you let the good people know what we got going on? I love playoff baseball, man. Sorry, I'm distracted. Got a whole game going on, man. We're ready to go. All right, man. Mr. G Mike, why don't you let the good people know what you had going on?
It's all right. It's all right. I feel it, man. Baby, Yankees up, though, 1-0, baby. And if you guys are into sports gambling, we put money on the Yankees today, baby. I got a sports gambling channel where we offer daily slips from 10 to 50 to $100 a day of winnings that you can get. We also have an affiliate program where you can make another way that you can make money. If you're watching the live episode, I do not have the link with me. I am sorry of the chat. But if you watch a recorded episode, you'll see it pop up on your screen, and you'll see my social media accounts. Just slide in my DM, and we'll get you on and going, baby.
Absolutely, man. All right, Mr. BC, welcome back to the building, buddy. It's good to see you. Why don't you let the people know what you got going on, my man?
Good to be back, man. Appreciate it. I mean, you guys have been watching long enough. Y'all know the missus and I got that small business, Brandons Media. We got your event photography, videography for weddings, engagements, couples photo shoots. We do family formals. We even do, gosh, I'm forgetting already, senior portraits, whatever you guys need. We got to cover corporate events. We cover it at Brandons Media. Check out the portfolio online, see for what you're looking for, creating memories that last a lifetime. You know what it do. And then also, too, I got my socials now. It's not necessarily brand new. I've been doing it now for a couple months now. BC the brand. You can follow right there, or you can see right there on the little handle right there underneath my name tag. That's where I'm posting all my stuff for camera work, voiceover work, public address announcing. Got some big news going to be coming down the pipe later on this week, so you guys keep tuned on BC the brand to find out about that. But yeah, man, just putting the story out there, putting it all out there, just trying to stay employed, show a little bit of the journey and everything, and just kind of, show growth and progress. You know how I do.
Speaking of growth and progress, the Red Sox are officially up 2-1 against the New York Yankees in the Bronx. What up, baby? Let's go. Let's go, Sox, baby. All right, man. We also want to give a shout-out to Varsity Sports Nation, man. They've been riding with us for a little while now, and they have on-demand content. The best part is it's easy to use, man. Just download the app. It's on your iOS, your Fire TV, your Roku, Apple TV, anywhere you think about getting it, it's on there, man. You can watch our content on demand, which we've been doing really well with that, so we really appreciate all the love and support out there for that. It's a great company. Support the people that's been supporting us. We also we'd be remiss if we did not say that we could get everybody to give us a like and subscribe on their YouTube channel, or just check out all our socials in general, man. We've been doing really well with the DownBad Debates and everything we have been going on. So we appreciate all the love and support you guys have been giving us. So please give us a like and subscribe. We're trying to get that up and going. We really appreciate everything, like we were saying. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into some news. Mr. BC, you ready, my man?
Yes, sir.
News from the world of sports.
All right, man. So we had some major. Do what?
I said it's still so awkward hearing myself back, no matter how much I do it.
It sounds good, man. It sounds good. So that's also, if you guys didn't know, all our little transitions videos are the voiceover is our very own BC, Mr. BC the brand. So if If you like those out there, I think they sound really professional, sound really cool. We want to give him an applause, man. So good job, Mr. BC.
Appreciate
All
it.
right, so we had some major news, like we were saying at the top of the show. There was 2 significant injuries in the NFL amongst all the other injuries in the NFL. 2 that really stood out to us, at least, was Malik Neighbors, that is going down with an ACL injury, and the gruesome injury for Tyreek Hill. He has what's been reported as an ACL tear and a dislocated knee. BC, this one's big for 2 different things, really, because Tyreek Hill's injury, that could potentially be career-threatening, career-ending. He'll never be the same kind of injury. Malik Neighbors is a young buck, so he can probably bounce back next season. Take him a little bit of time, and especially with the advancements they've made with ACLs and injuries, they're able to recover a lot faster. But what's your thoughts on this Tyreek Hill one, man? And the Dolphins in general, they finally got the win, but man, what a loss for the Dolphins.
They are probably the unluckiest team in the league for sure. The fact that when Tua is healthy, now you're losing Tyreek. When Tyreek was healthy, you lose Tua. It's just really bad luck for them. And I hate to see it for Tyreek because dude is, for a player that literally his nickname is the Cheetah. Like this is how he this is how he gets his bread. He relies on his speed. He relies on his quickness, his agility. And as somebody that's suffered through knee injuries, it's something that, I didn't play the position necessarily, but it still slows you down significantly. And especially as somebody that's older, it can really impact his career from here on out. Again, it's one thing if you're maybe a bigger bodied receiver, you don't necessarily rely on the explosiveness as much. You rely on, your catch radius, your hands, size. But for somebody that's as small as Tyreek is and somebody that, he's a slot receiver, like that's his bread and butter right there. It's difficult. It's the only words that can describe it. Like you said, it's career threatening, and it sucks. It really sucks because he's one of the best players of this generation, regardless of off the field stuff. He's just amazing talent, and to see his whole season ended like that, and on top of that, it was gruesome to watch. Like my gosh, like just anytime you see like the leg dangling there, and there's no support, no structure to it, it makes you cringe. So obviously hearts go out for him, and hopefully it's a quick, speedy recovery. Hopefully he defies the odds, regardless of, again, at whatever point in the career it is. Like, it's never a fun injury, but like, hopefully he's able to come back stronger next year. It's just an unfortunate situation for him, and I hate to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tyreek Hill's 31 years old. So that's where the biggest, I think, factor of this comes in. Yep. With the dislocated knee and the fact of the ACL tear, he's going to be out he's out the rest of the season without a doubt. That's already established. It's going to be what's going into the next season, which is going to put him, I'm not sure exactly what day his birthday is. I can tell you in 2 seconds, but March 1st of 1990, March 1st is Tyreek Hill's birthday. So he's going to be going, which is unfortunate for him as well, because he's probably not going to be back up and running at full speed, if he's even able to get back to full speed, until closer probably to 33.
Yep. And
going into that season, with the contract situation he has going on as well, there's been a whole bunch of possibly him getting traded, him wanting out. It's been a mess kind of in Miami with him. It started out fantastic, and it was the best thing in the world, and it's just kind of gone downhill. And I really feel bad for Tyreek Hill in the situation that he is such an electric player. And this, like you were saying too, this is his bread and butter. It's speed. And once he starts losing speed, I guess it'll really show what kind of receiver he is, if he's going to turn into more of just a slot guy, because he is undersized, like you're saying. So can he turn into more of like a Welker or an Edelman, something like that, that's a possession guy? I'm not really sure. I think his game he's completely predicated on the speed and the burst and just being simply faster than you. Still a damn good receiver, don't get me wrong. I'm just not sure how his style is going to fit in whenever he comes back, if he's able to come back.
Yeah, and that's the really difficult thing with it. Like we've seen other players with ACL injuries and stuff be able to cover superhumanly, like Adrian Peterson. So it's not necessarily a nail in a coffin like it used to be for careers, but it's still, for somebody that relies more on that separation, that speed element, it is something that it's going to be a massive uphill battle for him.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and it's rough for the Dolphins as well, because their wide receiver core was already kind of slim. They have Darren Waller on the team now, so like if that's one of your supposedly starting receivers, Jalen Waddle needs to really step up. And when this did happen in the past, whenever Tyreek was out, Jalen Waddle did step up. It's not been this. He hasn't looked like he has when he first came out and was just lighting up the league. That's going to be interesting to see how Waddle handles this, because he is going to have to be the man. And especially too, if you think about too, Devon Achane, such an electric, amazing player, but he's brittle too. He's a smaller guy. He's been hurt how many times already in his young career? So Miami's just in a very precarious spot right now, man. I don't even know what they're going to do in that situation. He wasn't the only one hurt, though. Like we were saying before, Malik Neighbors, unfortunately, finally get what looked like a fun, competent quarterback, and first game out there with them, and he gets hurt. Where does the kid go from here, man? Does does he steady the storm and he's going to be all right because he's young, or what, man? How's this going to work out?
Well, with Neighbors, it's kind of a somewhat of a similar thing maybe with Tyreek in terms of you're going to be out for the year. You're going to be. Question is, are you going to be ready for training camp? Do you rush it back? Do you try to, get him healthy, or do you just let him take his time? I would say, honestly, if he shows progress because he is younger, then just kind of work him back in. But there's a part of me, though, too, that's like, don't rush the young talent back just because he's younger. And there's different degrees of tear, though, too, with an ACL. And that's another thing I didn't talk about earlier. There's there's slight tears where there's just a slight little rip in it, and you might just need a few months of rehab. Other times it's a complete detachment like that, and you're going to need cadaver ACL going in there. You're going to need that one, you will need months of rehab and recovery for that. So
ironically, in this situation, it's better to just flat out tear than it is to kind of to barely. So like, that's ironic how that works. You would think it'd be the opposite, but it is better to flat out tear it.
It honestly depends, though, too, because, again, like I had both injuries back in high school, complete tear in my junior season. That sidelined me until senior year, and then I came back in training camp, had a slight tear, and I was only out for like a month, and I just did rehab, and it strengthened itself. So it just depends on how your body is able to heal up from it. But, yeah, I think a bigger question as well is, and I feel like we're going to start asking as well, like, is the environment playing a role in a lot of these types of injuries? Like turf has been something that, especially at the Meadowlands, it's been, the reputation for it's been absolutely terrible. So it's something maybe the Players Association maybe needs to start discussing as well. Like this is affecting not just older players, this is also affecting young guys. This is affecting their chance to, be able to perform on that rookie contract and then get that big second deal. So you got to start asking the question, though, too, is this something where are we going to keep employing this cheap artificial stuff to save money or whatever, but we're screwing our players over in the long run and we're losing even more amounts of money? So
yeah, speaking of that point, the NFL has already said they have had discussions now about the MetLife Stadium turf, because this has happened way too many times and too many star players have been hurt, and it's bad for the league. Welcome back, Mr. G. Mike, man. I know you had a little technical difficulty, man. You doing all right?
Dude, man, I don't know what's going on, bro. It's me trying to play this game, trying to do this live. Like, dude, man, it's like I can't have them all both on. I just gotta have one on. I don't know what's going on.
Handle the G mic right there.
I noticed all of a sudden your thing went out after it went 2-1, though, and that's kind of ironic. I don't know how that how that's working.
Some bad luck right there, bro. The freaking game, the internet, the live stream, ton of bad luck, man.
Geez. Well, anyways, man, we were just going over all the injuries we had going on there, man. We had the Tyreek Hill injury, and we had the Malik Neighbors injury. Wanted to give a special shout out to my man, Mr. Jay Holloway. Went to an amazing concert to go see Mr. Jay Holloway and the Motowners about 2 weeks ago, man. So shout out to Jay Holloway, Jay Cable, amazing artist, and one of my absolute best friends, man. So great show out there, man. So thanks for checking in, Jay.
Thanks for checking in, baby.
Yeah, so we were saying before, man. So we were just talking about the injuries, Malik Neighbors and Tyreek Hill, man. And what's your thoughts on that one?
Man, it sucks, man. You never want to see any type of athlete go down with some certain injuries like that, and especially at the beginning of the season. At the end of the season, too, you don't want to see that happen. You don't want to see any of those what could be career-ending injuries for both of them, really. But depends on how hard they work to get back. They really focus on their health and actually do the physical therapy that is going to be given to them. It'll be dope to see them come back next season and actually play because both of them are great receivers, man. They're great for the league. They're great for fantasy football. They're great for their teams. And, you don't want to see no player, no athlete go down with injuries, man. So I'm hope they can be able to come back. And now for the respective teams, for the Dolphins, already 1-3, not looking good. The Giants are 1-3 too. They're both on basically on a tear of losing the entire season. And now with your star receivers going out, now you got to look to other guys in the receiver room to actually step up and put in the work. And that's going to be tough, man, because with the game and how it is, and you trying to get the ball out at least 30 times to 35 times a game, at least 10 of those targets are going to go to your number one receiver. Now it's got to be the number 2, the number 3, maybe number 1 tight end, the running backs, more checkdowns. So it's going to be tough for the Dolphins and the Giants to actually, overcome this already losing season for them and try to make it into a winning season.
Yeah, I mean, you look at New York's wide receiver depth, though, too, including tight ends. You got Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Theo Johnson.
Hey, Theo Johnson got a touchdown.
I mean, but I don't know if any of those guys are necessarily game planning around how to stop him. But I will say for the Giants, though, I think the whole situation, it sucks. Don't get me wrong. But I will say, at least they're in a better position, I would say, than Miami and Tyreek. A lot of Miami's players, that core is getting older. They're kind of aging themselves. Some of them are aging themselves out. Whereas with New York, you've got a lot of young talent there. Obviously, Cam Scatterbo and then Jackson Dart as well. If your team goes through another rough season, even without your primary receiver, you could still potentially be picking top 5 again next year. I know it's not a guarantee in the draft, but, finding silver lining, giving your young quarterback some experience, building around that running game as well with the young running back. Maybe you might be able to kind of make the most of a bad situation and try to maybe get another wide receiver, another receiving threat next year, whether it be tight end or receiver, depending on how deep each draft class is. Just you gotta find a way to figure it out.
Well, there is optimism. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was going to say real quick that it sucks too because I know a lot of Dolphin fans and they've been wanting to try to use Tyreek as a trade value, and now that's gone out the window.
Right, that's what I mentioned before too. Is that that's going to be the interesting factor in this whole thing as well. Is that contract situation? He's paid a lot of money. I thought he only had about 2 years left, and which this injury that Tyreek got is not as a simple injury. That's going to last a while. And we looked it up earlier. He's 31. He's turning his birthday's March 1st. So he'll be turning probably closer to 33 before he's back to some sort of similarity to what he used to actually be. But according to my man Jay Holloway, there is some optimism for the Dolphins, saying the Dolphins can turn it around. So that is keeping the faith. I don't know, man. It's going to be an interesting season. They did just come off their first win, so shout out to the Dolphins for getting their first win out there. But just absolute gruesome injuries, and you never want to see that happen to anybody in the league, obviously. So, but just as a quick update, we're going to go ahead and jump into one of our favorite segments over here, Mr. Brandon's Bullpen. But before we get that, let's go ahead and give a quick update on what we got going on. We got the Red Sox up 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th in the Bronx. So without further ado, one of our favorite segments that's back, Brandon's Bullpen.
America's pastime from Brandon's Bullpen.
All right, man. Like we were saying before, it is playoff time for baseball, and it is a great time to be alive, man. So much good stuff going on here, man. We had 2 games already happened today. We had the Detroit Tigers taking on the Cleveland Indians, in which Detroit came out with the win. And I remember back when we had the segment earlier in the season, man, BC was very high on the Detroit Tigers. He works for the minor league team as well, doing PA announcing. There we go. Give it up, man. Give it up. So the Detroit Tigers came into Cleveland and got that win. Now, the system, the way this works, if anybody's new to the playoffs for baseball, they've kind of added a few things. So they started off the series, the wild card series, with a 3-game series for each one of these. So I like the way they're doing this. It's quick. It's back to back to back. If there's actually needed. So as of right now, Detroit's up 1-0. And that wasn't the only one. We also had a National League game of the San Diego Padres taking on the Chicago Cubs. The Chicago Cubs were down for a little while, but then they came back and rallied with 2 home runs, monster home runs, by the way, to take the 1-0 lead in that one. And as we were saying before, we have the Red Sox and the Yankees playing currently. And tonight's at the nightcap, I believe the last game of the night is going to be the Cincinnati Reds taking on the LA Dodgers. Mr. BC, go ahead and let us know, man, because there was some amazing pitching going on today, man. What was your thoughts on that today?
I mean, Tarek Skubal is Tarek Skubal. He's him. Like I hate you know what, screw it. I don't hate to say I called it. I called this all the way back in 2018. I wrote an article. Go check it, see my name, look it up. I talked about my boy Tarek Skubal back in Lakeland. Dude was a strikeout machine. Just needed to work on getting a few more, little deeper into games, getting those 6-7 innings there. And sure enough, postseason turns in a nearly 8-inning, 14 strikeout performance against a team that for the last month has made it a living hell for Detroit. And I was high on Detroit throughout most of the season, though, too. And then to see this collapse in September, I was like, oh, this is not looking good. But sometimes you just need that little bit of a reality check, a little slap in the face to wake you up. And, I mean, Skubal definitely answered the call there for Detroit in first game. Obviously, a lot of small ball being played in this game. No home runs to speak of on the side for Detroit. But, going into the next game as well, you've got Casey Mize taking them out. He's not, he's had a good season, 14-6. He's got like a 3.87 ERA, so solid numbers for sure for him. And I think honestly he's got it. I think he's got enough in the tank to be able to get it done for Detroit. I think he's going to have a good postseason around here. And I just think Detroit. The last month, again, it was kind of an aberration. I think it was something that for them just kind of shocked their system a little bit. I think they're understanding, like, okay, we got to start waking up the bats. We got pitching staff. We can't just rely on Scoobs the whole time. We got to get all of the arms invested. And I think that now you're going to start seeing Detroit really start to wake up. And I am interested. Don't want to look too far ahead, but if they can beat Cleveland, I think, honestly, the next matchup in that divisional round against Seattle will probably decide the fate of the American League, at least for this side of the postseason.
I was really high whenever we were saying before. You and I did a whole postseason breakdown of each division or whatever, and I was high on Seattle. I thought they had the writing on the wall to get everything going, and they had one hell of a season this year to do it. So I was happy to see that one. Man, the pitching in that game though on both sides, even Cleveland, they were throwing amazing stuff out there as well. I want to say there was only 2 hits outside into the outfield, which is impressive as hell. I mean, baseball, when it comes to the postseason, baseball is so much different, man. Like, you would think that it would be a boring game if there's no hits outside really the outside of the infield. Excuse me, I couldn't get that out. Anyways, but it was so amazing just to watch these guys, these masters at their craft, just throwing just absolute heat, just all kinds of different directional pitches, and it was just a joy to watch, man. Like, they had that exciting play at the plate where they had to go to replay to find out if Cleveland scored. Jose Ramirez got caught in that easy, could have been tying run right there, and just got caught. And it was just a hell of a game, man. It was awesome to watch.
Yeah, and that's honestly as exciting as it is to see the offensive numbers and everything. As hard as it is as well to hit a baseball, I would say it's equally as hard to be able to locate a baseball properly. Tarek Skubal is a master on the mound. Like, he's not just one of those guys where a lot of the flack with modern baseball is, okay, you're just aiming for the middle and just throwing as hard as you can and just hoping it sticks somewhere. No, he is so good with his control. Again, 14 strikeouts today, only 3 walks. Super, and going into 7 innings, very efficient, very impressive. And he is, in my opinion, he's the best pitcher in the game right now, regardless of, your Paul Skeens is Shohei's starting to pitch again. He is, don't forget
about the starter today in the Red Sox game, man.
I know, Crochet. Oh my gosh, that's
the league in strikeouts.
Homeboy is literally like 1 letter away from the same last name as me. That's the funny thing. But great, great pitching is very beautiful to watch. And whether it's you got 99, 100-mile-an-hour fastballs coming, which next couple innings we'll probably see with Aroldis Chapman with the Sox. Let's be honest, like that's going to be fun to watch. He turned it around this year. What the heck, man? Like he turned back the clock.
Big time.
Whatever voodoo magic you guys got in Boston, like dang, like Pat, share some with us. Like damn, we need that. But
got rid of the stench of Devers, man.
Yeah, honestly, like I think that was probably one of the more underrated moves of this season was addition by subtraction.
100%.
But yeah, whether it's straight gas or whether you're just got some beautiful bend on the curve, like a good pitcher's duel. If you've seen baseball long enough, it can be a sight to see. So.
Yeah, it was so cool having day baseball, playoff, meaningful baseball, 1:00 game. Like that was such a nice to have. You can listen to on the old school. If you want to listen on the radio, you had something to listen to. G Mike, man, did you get a chance to check out any of that Cleveland and Detroit game? If you didn't, man, you missed out on that one.
Negative, and what it sounds like, what you guys are saying, I definitely missed out. That's what I gotta get it back into, man. Baseball. I used to be into it as a kid, man, but as I got older, bro, it just got more boring, bro. And I know now they've done a lot of changes that it makes it more exciting, like the pitch clock and some other stuff. But I still haven't gotten back into it.
Yeah, and me and a buddy of mine, we're talking about it at work this afternoon about how that pitch clock I think has changed the way baseball is. That game was over in about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 at the max, which was amazing. Red Sox Yankees games used to take easily like 6-7 hours or so, something like that, because they would take each pitch and it would take forever. Now this game started at 6 o'clock. It's 8:30, and we're already almost done with this game right now, unless something happens, goes extra innings, But I love the pitch clock. I think it is a great add to the game, and has made it so much more exciting.
And I was gonna say, I just love the fact though too that when it first got implemented, a lot of pitchers complained about it. They're like, "Oh, we can't have we need more time in between pitches." Honestly, though, it's forced them to take back a little bit, dial it back a little bit from their stuff, because one of the biggest problems for the last few years was pitchers getting injured a lot. It still is an issue, but the fact that guys were getting hurt a lot because you shrunk the time in between to throwing so hard. Yeah, maybe dial it back a few mile an hour. Save your arm. Go deeper into games. Don't try to throw the hardest stuff all the time. And I think that guys like Skubal are showing that, you can still be one of the best pitchers in the game and not have to throw your arm out in 4 or 5 innings. You can still have control, command, and pitch deep into games and be successful. And I hope that's one thing that does change in baseball.
Yeah, I agree. So what was your thoughts on the Chicago and the San Diego game? San Diego seemed like they were in control, but then it was just dealing the entire game, and like it was going awesome for them. And then Chicago got hot and got a couple home runs within the same inning, and that's all they needed to get that going. The flash of the Padres is extremely fun, but I like the offense of the Cubs. Man, the Cubs have been one of the best hitting teams all season, so it was impressive to see.
They've just been far more consistent, and with San Diego as well, they're fun to watch, and they had one of the best bullpens in the entire season. But then when you lose the best setup man in baseball, and Jason Adam, former Rays legend, all-star this year, and just it was I saw the injury on when it happened. It was awful to watch. But when you lose a guy like that, it can really derail your entire bullpen. And as you saw later on in that game, they just started to lose steam. They just started to give up those runs when, let me take a look at it here. Yeah, their main guy made it through 5 innings, 5 innings, 9 strikeouts, and then the bullpen did a decent job, but they gave up 1 run towards the end there. That really does make the difference, though, when you have guys that you can put in, even if they're not your closer. If they can get you to that point, though, hand the ball off to him and you still got the lead, that definitely helps. Or if you hand the ball off and there's less of a lead or less of a deficit to deal with, it makes a difference. So, like you said, the flash is fun, but Chicago's just been, I think, the more consistent team this year, and I've got them moving on to the next round in this one too.
Yeah, they actually have also been one of the best defensive teams in the league as well. Just as a quick update, we are going into the bottom of the 8th of the Red Sox-Yankees games. Red Sox are up still 2-1. Going into that game right now, we'll go ahead and branch into that one. It's the Red Sox-Yankees, if not the greatest rivalry in baseball, and if not all sports, really, it's still awesome. Man, it's been an exciting game. The crowd atmosphere has been electric. People's been going crazy, and it's been awesome, man. The Red Sox still have their starting pitcher out there with 101 pitches as we speak right now. So it looks like if everything goes to plan, he's going to complete the full game out here. G Mike, it's your boys. I know you've been watching this game closely. What's your thoughts on this one so far, man?
Dude, we've sucked at hitting the whole damn day. There's only been a few players that actually been doing their job. Like you just mentioned, Crochet, that's how you pronounce his name. He has 9 Ks already, 9 strikeouts, so he's pitching phenomenally right now.
Yeah, no walks.
And the Red Sox, they're hitting pretty decent. They're not hitting so bad, but just with the overall look in the game, it looked like in the beginning we had the game and we are going to take off with it. And then when it came down to the 6th inning and then starting at the 7th, the whole game just flipped around, and now the momentum's all on Red Sox side. They might take it on the road.
Yeah. The Red Sox have played the Yankees fantastic this year. It's been kind of a change that has been from the past. In the past, the Yankees have dominated the Red Sox pretty well, but this season it's been a turnaround, and the Red Sox have really done great.
I think you guys are 9-4 against them, right? Something like that.
Yeah, they won the series against them right now. So we got. Another strikeout for a Crochet, man. The Red Sox are looking really good right now. I don't want to get too ahead of myself as a Red Sox fan, but this is looking pretty good for them right now in game 1. So I'm excited about that one. Mr. G Mike getting some love out there, man. So my brother George.
Boy Manny, baby. The boy Manny. What's good?
Yeah, man. So it's been exciting. Like we're saying, we'll keep this game as up to date as we can as this thing's going on. So there's one more game left of the night. It's the nightcap game out here. It is the Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds. Cincinnati Reds obviously have, I think, one of the most exciting players, Ellie De La Cruz. If you don't ever try to watch baseball, he's one of the most. What's that?
I was gonna say biggest boom or bust guy in the majors.
Oh yeah, he's one of the most exciting players to watch if you're looking for someone to watch in this one. If you're looking for someone to watch and you're trying to get back into baseball, he's an easy guy to root for. He's an amazing talent out there. But of course, you got the man, the myth, the legend, Shohei Ohtani on the other side. And in my opinion, I could say with confidence, I feel like he might be the greatest of all time. He is just absolutely killing it out there. So thanks for checking in again with us, and we're going to try our best to keep this thing going.
Yes, sir.
But G Mike, you got any thoughts on this LA and Cincinnati series?
Not really, man. I just got for sure. I took Dodgers to win that game. I think the Dodgers are at home. They're a great team, especially this year. But they've been for the last few years already against the Reds. The Reds are a pretty good team too, but I just don't see them beating the Dodgers at home. So I got money on the Dodgers.
What about you, SBC?
I was gonna say same. Dodger. Well, it's interesting with LA because the position they're in, they're the 3 seed. A lot of people expect them to be a lot higher, I think, this year than what they actually put out. But I think that honestly helps them. I think that takes some pressure off them. And I think that with not as much weight on their shoulders as probably a lot of previous world champions have, they could probably go all the way with this. Because, again, I think they play at their best when the pressure isn't as intense, in my opinion. Which, again, it's a big market city. It's the second biggest market in the MLB. So you think they'd thrive on pressure, but no, they crumble pretty quick. So I think this one will be a pretty easy one for them, and it'll be kind of a prove-it statement for them as they go on to take Philly in the next round.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers need to go in and play. I think they need to go in and dominate, and because Philly is a very interesting, scary team as well. So I think they need to get that momentum, get a couple good right games going in there, and really move on. I think to the next round to take on the Phillies, which that's going to be an exciting series as well.
Yeah. Philly is basically the Ellie De La Cruz of baseball teams. They're the biggest boom or bust team too. They will either hit bomb after bomb after bomb, or they're going to strike out and strike out and strike out. So
I totally agree. I totally agree.
Kind of, it's very boomer bust, just like the fan base. So, dang.
All right, so just an update real quick, Val. So before moving on right now, the Yankees got a runner on first. It's 1-2. Crochet is up to 113 pitches. Let's see how this one plays out, man. This is where the pressure's on. This is what makes playoff baseball exciting.
Sub him in.
What a roll this in. Why
All right,
not?
fellas. Well, we're going to go ahead and move on to our NFL Power Rankings, man. And this was a lot of fun last week. So we'll be able to compare a little bit from last week and move on to this week.
VFTS's NFL Power Rankings.
All right, man. So we are going to start and do this, though, a little bit different than the way we did it last week. Last week we went 10 all the way through 1, but this week we're going to start with the top, the best for number 1 out here. Mr. BC, you are on the left-hand side of me over here, so you are going to go first, my man. And who is your number 1 team going into week 5?
Well, definitely ain't the Eagles because they freaking cheated to win that game. But anyway, no, that little thing aside, I got Buffalo as my week 5 number 1. I think that they played, even though Josh Allen hasn't necessarily looked like MVP Josh Allen, I still think that I think both sides of the ball are playing great. I think that honestly, like, they look the least vulnerable of the 2 undefeated teams. Again, like I'll get into it when I talk about Philly, but I just think Buffalo is probably the most complete team right now, and they have done what they've needed to do, and so I got to give Buffalo the top nod.
Before you go, Mr. G Mike, real quick, I just want to give everybody a heads up as well. We're adding a few more features on here. If you look to the top right up here, we have a QR code. And it's also on the off chance that if you're watching it from your television or anything, you can just click on, you can scan that QR code, and that will take you directly to our site. So you can go ahead and please give a like and subscribe, or just pass it along to anybody that you're with. Having said that, Mr. G Mike, I totally interrupted you and stole your thunder on that one. So give me your number 1 team.
Another strikeout. 11 strikeouts for Crochet, right? 117 pitches, man. Jesus. Just like I alluded to last week I had the Eagles at 1. This week I have the Eagles at 1 again. I feel like if you're the reigning champs and you're undefeated, there's no way that someone can take you off the 1 spot just with that. On top of the play that they've been having, they've been primarily just trying to run the ball. They haven't been really trying to pass the ball until not last game against the Buccaneers, but the game before that against the Rams, that they had to turn it up, and they looked to Jalen Hurts to throw the ball. And when he started throwing the ball, A.J. Brown started going off, Devontae Smith started going off. And even in this game against the Buccaneers, Dallas Goedert was going off because of the little small passes that Jalen Hurts was doing to him. Their defense is not as prolific as last year. They're not as great as last year, but they're still up there. They're still probably top 10 in the league, and they're doing pretty well. If you're 4-0, undefeated as the reigning champ, I got to put you at number 1.
While I respect that, and I do agree that the Eagles deserve to be up there, I'm going to go back to my last week's power rankings at number 1 and stick with Buffalo in this one. Even though Buffalo did have a scare against New Orleans, I think I expected New Orleans to be one, if not one of the historically worst teams in the league in history, possibly. And they've actually come out and played pretty decent against teams. They've fought relatively hard, so I'm going to give them a little bit of credit for that. But I think Buffalo just so far on both sides of the ball have looked the part of where they should have been going into the preseason. I don't think that they've lost any steps. I don't think they've done anything to take them out of the top few spots. All right, Mr. BC, you're up next with your number 2.
Begrudgingly, I have to put the next 4-0 team at number 2. I can't have my Bucks go over the team that beat them. Technically, I can't, but ref ball and all that crap. They're the new Chiefs. I'm not bitter, but I've got the Philadelphia Eagles at my number 2. They did get the win, regardless of ref ball and all the phantom no calls that they had in that game, and the fumble, which was not a fumble at any angle you look at. You could see it on the video board. It was that obvious. But anyway, I don't get paid like the refs do. I know nothing about football. They know everything. They're number 2, and they took advantage. They took advantage of our mistakes. They did what they were supposed to do. And as pissed off as I was at the end there, we're running it out for the safety. Hey, I would have done it. Every other team would have done it. So they came in. They went into a hostile environment. They took care of business, and they're still 4-0. And so, I got to have them at number 2, at the very least.
My number 2 is going to be the Bills. And what BC alluded to earlier, Josh Allen is not playing at the MVP standards. But the reason he's not playing at that is because the Bills are running the ball way more than they were last year already up to this point. Like, if you really look at the stats and really digress in the week through 4 weeks, if he starts throwing the rock and he starts showing that, he needs to put the team on his back, he will, because he's done it many, many times, and he will primarily do that. Their defense is looking solid as well. I still need them to work on that rush defense. I think it needs a little bit more work. Their secondary is starting to slack off. It looks like they're not as focused as they were before because the Saints, they're letting Spencer Rattler look like he was the next coming of Josh Allen, the way that he was playing out there. So they need to really step it up. But 4-0, Buffalo's looking good in the division. They're looking good in the AFC because everybody else is looking trash. So I got them at number 2.
This one, I went on a big jump, and this one's probably going to be a little bit of a controversial one, and especially because it is not the Eagles. I'm going with Detroit, actually. I think Detroit has looked impressive as anybody in the league. They just happened to come off that game, the first game of the season, where they looked an absolute mess and just wasn't ready. And Dan Campbell ate some kneecaps in the locker room or something. And because they've come out since that game and have looked amazing. They've been playing great on offense. The defense has been playing great. Aiden Hutchinson is that dude. I just really impressed with the way Detroit looks. It is a big jump for them to go all the way up to number 2. But I'm going to put them at number 2. BC, you're up, my man. Who's got at number 3?
That's my number 3, Detroit. And I mean, you pretty much stole a lot of my points. Like, you have best offense in league terms of points. Like, they are able to just dominate on that side. We're all forgetting who Ben Johnson is because they just keep humming along. Again, like you said, stumbled out the gate there in that week 1, but then since then you're rattling off 3 straight. The offense is looking great, looking amazing. So, you know, I got to give it to Detroit. I think they're the best one-loss team in the league.
I got to take the Chargers at number 3. I feel like they played against a great Giants defense. And for you guys and the TikTok and the IG that's saying that the Giants didn't have a good defense, y'all got to watch football, baby. Y'all got to watch football because you ain't watching it because the Giants have a great defense. They stopped Justin Herbert. Yeah, Hampton started going off on that run defense for sure. But that secondary was doing work. If that run defense and that pass defense actually start clicking up together, they're going to be top 5 in the league for sure. When you got a team like that playing up against a 3-0 squad or the Chargers, you know, a lot of adversity comes into play. A lot of pressure comes into play for that offense. Dude, Justin Herbert wasn't able to get the ball thrown off as much as he was the first 3 weeks. But I still got them at number 3 because I feel like their defense is just way better than Detroit's. So that's why I put them at the number 3 spot, but it's just neck and neck there with the 3 and 4.
Yeah, and one more thing on the Lions as well is that they did happen to take on the Packers, who did. Everybody was ranting and raving about how great their defense was first game of the season. So that was a tough, difficult matchup to have to start your season with an in-division rival that knows you obviously pretty well. So that was another reason why I had Detroit up there, giving them the benefits out, even though they did have a loss. Having said that, so my number 3 team is, I'm not going to disrespect the Eagles completely. I'm going to put the Philadelphia Eagles at number 3. You cannot deny the fact that they have won, and it hasn't been pretty. They have not lost, excuse me. It's just simple things. I was talking about it last week. The offense is just what's making me really nervous about them. They didn't have, and correct me if I'm wrong, BC, because you were at the game working, and I'm sure, they didn't have a passing yard at all in the second half, correct?
No, Hurts was 0 for 8, so.
You know, so that right there is, and they still won though, and that's what's amazing about this Eagles team is that they still were able to pull it off in such an offensive, such an offensive-minded league, and they're still able to pull it off with stats like that. So I'm not going to make them fall too bad, but if this continues, they're going to keep on falling down. I think my list as well, but I think that the Eagles are respectfully at 3.
How are they going to keep falling if they keep winning?
Are they going to keep falling if the refs pick them back up? There's a new case.
Nah, man, I don't want to hear nothing about the refs, man. That team is stacked, bro. And coming from a fucking Dallas Cowboys fan, like, come on.
Yeah,
that team is stacked.
The Eagles are going to be definitely the argument of the year, I think, because I think they're going to have an amazing record when it's all said and done, but you're not going to be happy about any of the games whenever you're done with it. You're not going to feel very comfortable about it, but they're going to laugh all the way to the bank by winning all these games. So
it's all about dubs, man. It's all about dubs. It's not about the stats. It's not about how you play on offense or how you play on defense. It's all about the dub at the end of the day.
I would put them at 3, so I don't think I'm being like crazy disrespectful to them, but I just don't feel like that they're clicking as well as they should be. And it is only the first quarter of the season, so let's see how the season progresses. I don't think that's sustainable to keep on winning without having an offensive passing yard in the second half, but they are able to do it, and that's all that matters. Is like you were saying too, it's all about getting the dubs. So yes, I got them at 3. Mr. BC, what's your number 4?
I got the Rams at my number 4. I know that like they're one-loss team and everything like that. I know, Matt Stafford, I think, has looked a lot better this season. A lot of people are kind of questioning, like, oh, is he going to retire? He should. Just call it quits. His back, like, he's just too banged up. He's turned in a good season so far. First few games, over 1,000 yards, got 8 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. He just had like a great 3 touchdown performance, in his last game. So I think that, the Rams have definitely shown that, like, even without some of their franchise legends like Aaron Donald, I think that they still found ways to have success. So,
He thought it was a home run, man. He thought it was
I did.
home run.
I did.
Dan, you want to give us the play-by-play, the recent?
Yeah, we're just as a quick live update, man. We're going into the top of the 9th. The Red Sox are still up 2-1, and there was just a ball hit into the outfield, and 2 Red Sox.
It looked good for like a second.
Everybody was on the edge of their seat, giving that. Ooh.
Yeah.
Right.
My number 4, I'm gonna put the Detroit Lions. I think that they have a great offense, especially the rush attack. I mean, Jared Goff is looking great. He's putting the ball where it needs to be, right on the numbers, over corners, over safeties, over linebackers. Precision passing this man has been having up to this point this season, and it's been great. It's been great to watch. The only thing that really puts me back for them at 4 and not over the Chargers at 3 is because of their pass defense. They have been playing some trashy defenses, which is why they've been scoring so much. And even if they played a good defense, I still believe that they've been scoring. But other teams have been scoring on them. So if you're going down the road, you keep having a weak pass offense because the pass defense, because I think their rush defense is good. Like, I think it's decent enough. Like, they're going to stop the run. But if teams are going over the top on you and running slants on you and you can't do nothing about it, how are you supposed to actually, make it deep into the playoffs and try to get to the Super Bowl, and all that stuff? And obviously, we're only talking about up to week 5 right here that is coming up on Thursday. But this is why I put them behind the Chargers.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams as well at number 4. Reluctantly, they just they got a wild win against my Indianapolis Colts. It was an amazing game. I mean, they did what they had to do to win. Adonai Mitchell helped out with that one a lot. That one will go down in history of the Colts of like big WTF plays. Like, what the hell just happened with those ones? But overall, I think the Rams have been playing really, really well. They should have beat the Eagles. That should have been the Eagles' first loss of the season in that one, I think. But the Eagles came back and won that one, so the Eagles played out. That's when Jalen Hurts and the offense actually started clicking. But I like the way the Rams are playing. I think that defense is on fire right now. Jared Verse is the real deal. Matthew Stafford, man, that guy is such an amazing player at his age, and he's just redefining that whole age is just a number thing for quarterbacks if you're able to play. Like me and G Mike were talking about last week, BC, this dude was literally getting epidurals just to get on the field, and this guy is still throwing 300-some yards and still looking like he's like 20-some years old out there, man. Just an ultra-smart player and knows exactly what to do and where to put the ball. And you cannot deny how well – I wish I could take it back for our offensive player of the year, Puka Nacua. My goodness. That guy is just playing off the friggin' chain, man. So I'm going to put the Rams at number 4, even though they just knock off my my Colts. Mr. BC, number 5.
You know me, man. There's only one team that I could keep in the top 5. No, we lost this week. Gotta go with my careers, man. I might be. Call me a homer. Call me biased. I don't care.
I'll let you explain it for me too, because they're my number 5 as well, man. I'm not gonna lie. I put them at 5 too.
I was gonna say, you had the world champions on the ropes.
Yeah.
And this was without their number 1 receiver. This was with their number 2 receivers first game back. Their starting left tackles first game back. They're without their starting right tackle. They're without their starting defensive tackle. They had so many guys that were out, and they still came back and almost won. And they were dealing. Baker Mayfield needs to be in MVP conversations. He is a legitimate top 5 quarterback in this league. I think so. I think that he's earned that. I think last year he proved that he deserves to be knocking on the door. Everyone's saying, no, he's not even top 10. Like, bullcrap. He should have been the Pro Bowl that last year over Sam Darnold. All right, like, that's definitely for sure. But the fact that he led 3 fourth quarter comebacks all the way, to this week and nearly had a fourth one in a row at home on Creamsicle Day, where they always lose. Or no, my bad. That was last. My gosh, no.
That was last week, yeah.
That was last week. He led them on Creamsicle Day when they always lose. That in itself, and then almost leading to come back against the world champs. Again, I've made my point with ref ball, but I think that they just then they're having other players. They're having other players come in and step up as well. Jamel Dean went out, so he had Benjamin Morrison step in. I think he did a very good job in the past game. I think that honestly he helped contribute big time to that 0-8 stretch for Jalen Hurts. So the run defense does have to get it together, I think, a little bit. You got to figure out a way to get a pass rush going without Kalijah Cansey. But again, you're going to have Mike Evans coming back soon. You're going to have Luke Gedeke coming back soon. That offense, it's looking it's already looking terrifying right now. It's going to be, I don't know what word to describe the offense. And then if you can get the defense back, I think that they'll, we'll revisit them hopping up in the rankings and everything. But I gotta have them in the top 5 just because they pushed the world champs to the very end. So
G Mike, number 5.
5, I got the Los Angeles Rams, man. That offense is just playing out of control, bro. And like there's no one that can stop Devontae Adams. There's no one that can stop Puka Nacua. There's no one that can stop Kyron Williams. Matthew Stafford is looking like a top 10 quarterback in this league, freaking almost 40 years old, had an epidural. This guy was going through it with his back, and I'm pretty sure he is still going through it with his back, but he don't care. He loves to play football. He loves to win, and he's going out there and giving him all he got. And then when it comes to their defense, they still need some improvement, but I feel like their pass defense is pretty well-rounded. They're stopping a lot of teams from really passing the ball as much overall, not every single team, but overall they're stopping as much. The run defense is okay. I feel like it needs to get better, but that offense, man, that top 5 right now for sure. I'll put them on number 5.
I like their young nucleus too. They're young, and remember how like the Rams have like not had haven't had draft picks in a while. They finally started getting those draft picks. They've just been so smart in the scouting and who they've picked because they've, like we were saying before, they got rid of all the draft picks and they've been on the land and they haven't been irrelevant in quite a while. So shout out to the Rams for that one as well. I, like I was saying before, I had BC and I both had Bucks at 5. BC obviously explained more of it about it, so we'll just leave it at that. So we're going to go to number 6. Mr. BC, you're up.
I was going to say first, though, too, like when that Rams-Bucks showdown later in the season, that's going to be, you talk about like an offensive firepower showcase. Like I think that's going to rival the Kansas City Rams game from like 2018. I think like I could see it being like 50 odd points just from both sides, like slinging it down on offense. But anyway, that aside, a little bit of surprise here at number 6. I actually don't have the Chargers at number 6. I'm going to move the Seahawks there. Second best point differential in the league. I think that you can maybe say, oh, well, playing the Saints and stuff like that, yada, yada. They still have taken care of business, and they've done a good job, I think, of, again, struggled week 1 against San Fran. Okay. But I think since then, they've done a good job of beating the teams they need to beat, and I think that they've played really good all-around football, and it's showing so far.
Number 6, I'm going to have the Indianapolis Colts, man. I feel their defense is top 5. I think their offense took a step back this week. I feel like we went from Daniel Jones to Indiana Jones back to Daniel Jones. And it might be a little crazy. It might get a little crazy out there, and you got to watch out. He got to continue with his confidence and stuff like that. JT's looking good running the ball. But I really love the defense. The defense is what I love. I think their pass defense and their rush defense together combined can be top 5 in the league. And I put them at 6 because I feel like they could go up against any offense and they could stop them from scoring at least 21 points.
Just a quick update on this Red Sox-Yankees right now. We just had a stolen base from Trevor Story. They're looking it over, make sure the play was good. It is 2 outs, 2-1, 2-1 count. Runner on second, and they're calling him safe at second. That is under review right now. Top of the 9th. It's what playoff baseball is all about, baby. All right, so word number, we have number 6, correct?
Number 6, yeah.
Yeah.
There's 2 outs? Yeah, there is 2 outs. Wow.
Yeah, number 6, me and BC is on the same page again. I got Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks been impressing me. I think Sam Darnold is fitting in perfect with them. They're not asking him to do too much. Jackson Smith and Jigba has shown that he's a true number one. It's interesting to see what the running game can do. And that defense, you can't forget about it. They're a little bit different from the Legion of Boom, but they're just flat out playing well. They're not necessarily smashing like they used to back in the day with them guys, but they're playing very sound defense. So I've been very impressed with them as well. That NFC West is a pretty exciting division to watch. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a down year for them, but it's been exciting.
Same.
BC, you're up, man. Number 7.
I was gonna say all respect to the West, man. Like they're really proving us wrong as far as not being the memes of the league. But I'm gonna stay out West, and this is where I'm gonna drop the LA Chargers at. G-Mac was talking about earlier. Defense has been just absolute monsters on that side of the ball, and then the offense though too. It's struggling to find its way, but Justin Herbert led offense, and the way they have efficiently ran the ball last year, they're going to figure it out this year. So it's just a matter of timing, really. And right now, that's why I have them a little bit lower. They just haven't figured out how to kick it into high gear on the offensive side of the ball. But then once they do, they'll be able to raise up the ranks easy, I think.
So last week I had number 4. I had the Packers. This week I have them at number 7 because they started off the year with a great defense, and now it's looking like it's taking a little downward trend going up against the Dallas Cowboys offense that, yes, they're number 1 in the league, but if the Cowboys have the worst defense in the league, there has to be this type of, okay, we need to get this stopped now and not let them score this drive. And there wasn't any of that on that Sunday Night Football game from the Packers. And they were supposed to be one of the best defenses in the league. Okay, yes, the excuse is there that you're going up against the best offense in the league right now to this point. But are you trying to make a Super Bowl run? Are you trying to go deep into the playoffs? If you're trying to do that, you need to be stopping a team that, yes, they have one of the best offenses in the league, but they have no defense. So you need to be able to stop them at least one time for them not to score. Instead of going to an overtime game that turned into a tie game, which I don't know why we still do these ties, but I'm not going to get into that.
I was going to say, I saw something the other day. I was like looking over some of the game film, though, too, with Micah Parsons, and I wanted your thoughts on this. The best way to stop him is to just basically run right towards him and run past him. Like, if you try to, if he's not a great run stop, I mean, obviously one of the best pass rushers in the league, but he's a very weak run defender. I wanted kind of your thoughts, him being an ex-Cowboy and everything.
I feel like if the run is coming his way, right, so you're going to have the guard, the tackle, and maybe even the tight end fill in those spots. Either they're going to double team him, or even if they don't, if they go one-on-one with whoever's there on the line with them in the C gap, it's hard for him to get around a tackle like that to try to get the running back tackled, right? Most of the time, it's going to be 9 out of 10 times it's going to be the linebacker that comes up into the gap or goes in the outside of the gap, or the corner or the safety that's coming down strong that is actually going to make those tackles. If it's going away from him, the run is going away from him, it's easier for him to go face-to-face with the tackle because he's so much faster. He plays literally like a wide receiver at a defensive end position with his speed. So it's easier for him to sway away that and to go behind, either go onto the right side of the tackle, go for the left side of the tackle, get away from him and go behind and try to tackle the running back from the back or try to grab his legs, of course.
And see, I was wondering, though, too, because he pins his ears, because, as an edge rusher, he's pinning his ears back so much on those pass plays. You think maybe instead of going full speed 100% of the time, maybe slowing it down a little bit, being a little bit more methodical with his moveset, maybe trying to read the play a little bit more. And then maybe if, you see the ball going inside, make a quick swim move inside as opposed to just trying to go straight back. That'd probably help him out a lot.
Yeah. Question here from Embra. Do you guys think Tyreek's career is over? I don't think his career is over. I think he's going to come back and still play. I think he's going to be focusing on rehab. And obviously, he has a lot of off-the-field issues right now that he's got to get through as well. Maybe that can stop his progress, but I feel like he loves the game too much. And in today's days in the NFL, he could literally turn into a slot receiver. He doesn't have to be the wide out, and he could be just catching slants, curls, dump offs. And he's so fast that, with his knee injury, it's probably going to set back his speed for sure. But he's so fast. He's one of the fastest human beings in the NFL that speed is not going to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we were talking about earlier too, I kind of that's where I do think is going to be the factor is that his speed I think is going to go away. He was already kind of downtrodden on it. He's going to be 33 years old most likely before he's able to come back and actually play relevant football. That's the wrong side of 30 for a guy who's not a big receiver. So I think you're right. I think he can maybe turn into like a slot receiver of some sort. But again, you alluded to it as well. I didn't even think about that aspect of it, is that he's had a bunch of off the field issues and it hasn't been good for him. But before we go into number 7 real quick, just an update as well. We're going into the middle of the 9th. Red Sox, Alex Bregman hit a double to Brad driving another run. It's 3-1 going into the bottom of the 9th in New York.
Dang, all right, G-Mike. Oh, don't worry. I got your seat right here in the off season. Sit right here in Tampa Bay. Come sit with your brother over here.
I can't get too ahead of myself, man. They still are in the Bronx, and he can hit home runs with like a bunt in that stadium. So I can't get too ahead of myself in that one. But, all right, yeah, pretty much, man. All right, so my number 7 actually is going to be me and BC's been on the same page here, man. I'm going San Diego. I'm not San Diego. I keep on trying to say San Diego. They need to move back. The Los Angeles Chargers. I thought they should have dropped a little while. I had them at number 3, I believe, last week, but they did lose to the Giants. And you know, Jackson Dart did have a pretty good game. Justin Herbert didn't look anything like a shell of himself like he has the entire start of the season. I think the Chargers will be able to bounce back and get some stuff going again. But the biggest thing for the Chargers is their offensive line is going to be going through some struggles now, man. Joe Alt went out, and they are already down Slater. So that's going to be a lot of trouble for them and what they like to do. To be able to do it. Either they're going to have to put it on Justin Herbert more because the run game might not be able to be as predominant as it's been. But that's why I put them down. I hate to punish a team for getting injuries, but I think that does play a factor in what the future is for the team at this point. And they did lose to a winless team. So I have to bump them down a little bit. No disrespect to them because I still think they are an amazing team in the league. BC, number 8 for you, my man.
Steve, you're going to love this, man. I got your Colts sitting at number 8, man. They, again, losing to the Rams definitely hurts for sure. But aside from that, they've played complete football this season. One of the best offenses in the league, one of the best defenses in the league, I think. And I think they've shown these last few weeks, again, even in defeat, they've shown that they are here to stay. So my preseason pick with Houston taking the South, it's not looking good. And honestly, it would not surprise me to see Indianapolis be able to hold off Jacksonville and take this out. As strange as it sounds, who'd have thought Danny Derps is leading a team in charge of the division right now? So aside from you, man, you're one of one. So
this guy did.
But yeah, all credit in the world to what they've been able to pull off so far this year. And you know, here's hoping that they continue to buck the trend of usual suspects and they're able to surprise everybody this year. I love this kind of crazy, chaotic football where the unexpected, is happening right now. So I love it.
Yeah. For number 8, I bumped them up. I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Now he shows us love.
Took out the Baltimore Ravens, man. But I bumped up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because I like what I see from their offense. You know, a lot of people thought they were going to take a step back because of Mike Evans being gone. It looks like they haven't missed a step. Mbuka looks like a wide receiver 1 right now. Chris Godwin got back. Yeah, he didn't get a lot of targets, but the targets that he got, he caught them, and he was doing what he needed to do. The running back situation, Bucky Irving looked like he wasn't doing anything the whole game, and then he started turning up. Rashad White looks like he's coming into his own again. There looks like there's more usage for him on the ball, which is actually good. I think he's a good check down back. And I think he could be a good third down back as well. He's just got to get, I would say, a little bit more weight and try to get in between those holes. But the only thing that I don't like from the Bucs is the fact that they keep playing from behind. You cannot keep playing from behind because if you go up against, you went up against the Eagles in week 4, but if you go up against the Eagles in week 15, it's not going to be the same type of game. It's going to be a completely different game, and especially in the playoffs. So I don't like the fact that they keep coming back in games. I feel like with their offense, they need to be up in games instead of working from that adversity. I think it's just too much of a risk takes there, especially as they've been doing this 4 out of 5. All 4 weeks. All 4 weeks that they've been coming back, and they had to rely on Baker Mayfield, which I agree. I think he's top 5 in the league right now at quarterback, but sometimes he's going to make mistakes. He's human too. And you can't be just relying on him to get you out the gutter and win you a game. You need to be doing this all together as a team and stop coming from behind in games.
Yep, and a lot of that I hate with the play calling, and I saw it last year. I'm seeing it this year. We'll be super aggressive on defense, where pin the ears back, rush the passer, and we'll be getting sacks left, right, and center. And the second we're up by 20 points, foot off the gas.
Bases loaded, baby. He's nervous. He's nervous.
I was waiting for it.
Send it up to break, baby.
Oh my gosh, you guys!
Sorry, BC. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just saying, like they take their
Three
foot
straight
off the gas.
pitches.
They take their foot off the gas, man, and that's what's cost them a lot of these.
No,
games.
is that they put Chapman in? They took out Roche. They put Chapman
I'm talking about the Bucks, man. Shoot.
Oh, sorry.
No, you good.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like they gotta be aggressive all game, and I agree. Like you
have to from the
can't-
beginning, man.
can't bake or ride this. Also,
No.
Emeka Egbuka, is it too early to say offensive rookie of the year candidate? Is it too early?
No, I like that. Honestly.
Stud.
100%.
Yeah, I was saying that last week as well. I think he looks like a front runner, in my opinion. I was going with Tyler Warren as the originally, but Emeka Egbuka looks like the real deal. Speaking of Tyler Warren, this is where I'm going to go ahead and put my Indianapolis Colts as well. I got him in the 8th spot right here. They really had that game in the bag. I felt like they had 14 points taken off the board by the same player. If there's anybody, and I don't want to, dog on a guy who had a bad game. Clearly, Adonai Mitchell made an amazing catch. And I don't know if it was a showboating or if it just slipped out of his hands. I'm going with more of a showboating, but if you haven't learned from that, stop trying to do that. Celebrate after you cross that line. And then to come around and you could have been the leading block for Jonathan Taylor on a 58-yard touchdown that probably would have sealed the deal. Instead, you got a holding call on a play that it shouldn't have even been a holding call for, and he shouldn't have been in that position to get that holding call. Mitchell was just it was way too late. Taylor was about to blow by it. It wasn't necessary, and he kind of cost the game on that one. I think that he's a young player that's going to learn from this, but you have to just stop trying to showboat, I guess, is really what I want to say. I don't want to shit on the guy too much, honestly. He's a young player. He's only been in the league, I think, 3 years, maybe 2 at max. You're going to learn from it. But I had to bump my Colts down a little bit. I kept them around this time last week. I was really hoping to put them maybe in the top 5 if they were able to get that win and be 4-0. But I can't be too much of a homer. They did lose the game. So I'm going to put them in number 8, which is still a pretty impressive season for me. We're getting down to the last couple of teams here. So number 9, Mr. BC.
I was gonna go with. I'm starting to rethink my list a little bit. Like towards the end here, I kind of am. I had an idea of who I wanted number 9 and 10, but now I'm a little torn. I'm gonna go with the Niners at number 9. I had them actually outside. I had the last 3 were kind of interchangeable on my list. The last 3-1 teams were kind of interchangeable, 9, 10, 11. I had them sitting on the outside. I'm going to go with them at my number 9. I still think they have one of the best defenses in the league. I think that they, again, even though the performance against Jacksonville it's kind of mid, it was really bad. I don't know. I think maybe also too, just maybe my hatred of Liam Cohen. It's just maybe starting to come out a little bit. Duval. I am going to go for Duval. And it's also, too, that confrontation with Saleh and him at the end of the game was hilarious. Like, I got to say. Like,
did you see what he said about that, too?
Yeah, I think, it was just like, oh, my gosh, dude. The whole sign stealing thing or signal stealing is absolutely insane. Baseball had enough issues with sign stealing from all the other teams, and now it's like, great, football's got a scandal now, too, with that. Like, can y'all just play the game? Seriously? Like, can y'all just be better, not like try to circumvent the rules to try to win a game? Like, come on. But I will say, like, I think the Niners, they're not playing their best football, and I think this is where, again, I was kind of torn with Jacksonville and the Niners. I think Jacksonville, this is about peak as they're going to be. But with the Niners, I still think that we haven't really seen their best ball yet. So I'm gonna put them at number 9.
See, that's why I have him at number 9 too. And last week I didn't even have him in the top 10 because I feel like they haven't been playing their best ball. But with Nick Bosa out is why I didn't want to put him in the top 10 because I thought it was going to change the whole dynamic of that defense. I was completely wrong. They still have a great defense, especially on that pass defensive side. Um, Brock Purdy comes back after 2 games and he shows that he can still put it on him. You know, is looking good out there. CMC, obviously, a great prolific back. I feel like they're putting the tools together, even though with Nick Bosa being out. I had him at 11 last week, so I didn't have him at the top 10. Now I'm having him at 9. I still need to see a little bit more when George Kittle comes back. Hopefully, Brandon Ayuk comes back. They're saying that he might not even come back. Parcel, he just got injured as well now with the knee. So he might not play. He might. It depends. Who knows? Jawan Jennings, another one that is questionable as well right now. So we talked about this before the start of the season with the Niners. They've had, 17 injured players, I think it was, that we counted. And now it just keeps on rolling and rolling.
Got hurt again.
Yeah, it just keeps on rolling and rolling throughout the season, man, and it's tough. It's tough to see for them. You don't want to see that for any team, but that's why I got them at number 9 right now.
All right, so my number 9 is going to be a newcomer into my list here. It's going to be the Chiefs. I like what the Chiefs are starting to put together. I know that I still, like I was saying last week, I think the national media still has them way too high. I'm going to give them credit for beating Baltimore, even though Baltimore is not looking like what we all thought they were going to be this year. But it seems like with Xavier Worthy coming back, the Chiefs are starting to kind of get into their own, and they still don't even have Rashee Rice yet. So I like that win. They looked like the old Chiefs by scoring points. They weren't relying on the defense as much, and the defense did play lights out. So I'm going to give them a little bit of credit for getting that win. They're on a win streak now, and it is still Patrick Mahomes, and he still is one of the top QBs in the league. I felt like it was a fair place to put them either 9 or 10, so I'm going to go with 9 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Your last one, BC.
It's going to be the team I just talked about against the Niners. It's going to be the Jaguars. I think that this is their peak for this season. I think after this week, they don't go any higher. They'll certainly get lower. So, and again, they've done what they've had to do, regardless of how the game went. Like they did, obviously, they got the Niners number that day, and they got the dub for sure. But I just don't see. As good of a coordinator as Cohen was with the Bucs, and as good as an offensive mind that he is, I don't see. And I think, and that's the ball game, fellas.
How do you go bases loaded, 0 outs, and goes 3 straight, bro? Jesus, man. For my number 10, I got the Seattle Seahawks, man. I didn't have them in the top 10 last week, but I feel like they deserve it now. I had the Minnesota Vikings there. I didn't like the way they played offensively in these last 2 weeks. One was against the Cincinnati Bengals. A lot of people were saying they're one of the top teams and this and that. I was like, they're playing the Bengals. Bengals don't really have an offense, so I can't really give them that. But I love their defense. Right now, last week didn't like their defense as much against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, I know it was a overseas game. There's a lot of variables that goes into that with jet lag and not being able to practice over there on time, not be able to getting enough sleep. Your sleep schedule gets turned up. Food is different. Routines are different. Routines are very important to athletes. If you guys do not know this, and I know there's variables to it, but I just didn't like that their defense was playing up against the Pittsburgh Steelers offense that hasn't really been showing much. DK Metcalf looking like Jerry Rice out there against what's supposed to be a top 5 defense in the league. So I kept them out of that, and I put the Seahawks in there. I love the way they're playing offensively. Sam Darnold continues to prove me wrong. JSN is looking like a top 10 receiver right now in the league, if not top 5. Kenneth Walker, he's running the ball extremely well, and especially the RB2 Cabernet as well too. They have a nice 1-2 punch. I think their rush defense is pretty great. Their pass defense is good. Their pass defense is pretty great, and their rush defense is pretty good. I think it's getting better throughout the weeks, but they need to keep improving. But that's why I got the Seahawks at number 10.
All right, so for my last one, this one was kind of difficult because I'm kind of putting them all in the same little group here. It was either going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars or who I'm actually going to go with. I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. I had the Green Bay Packers a lot higher last week on that game against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are call them what you are this season. They're going to ruin a lot of teams' records, I believe, because they're always going to be in these games and they're going to steal a couple of them. And this game did end in a tie, and then they lost last week as well to Cleveland. So I had to keep on bumping them down. I still do believe in what they're doing. I think they have still a good defense, and that offense, as long as they can stay healthy. Romeo Doubs showed out. Josh Jacobs is still the man. Who was their backup they were running out there with? It was I can't remember what his last name was. Emmanuel, I think it was. Daniel Lewis maybe or something. But anyways, he was doing pretty well. I'm going to give them one more chance to stay in the top 10 because I just think that they are the real deal. So I'm going to put them at 10. But Jacksonville is knocking on that door.
Yep.
All right, BC, do you want to run down yours real quick, and then we'll move on to our down-bad debate and close this out?
Sure. Are we doing countdown from 10 to 1? Or are we going to go like we did right now and do 1 to 10?
Just read them off 1 through 10 for you, and then we'll just go in order, and then go from there.
All right. I got sitting at the top of the mountain. Got the Buffalo Bills at 1, Philadelphia Eagles at 2, Detroit Lions at number 3, Los Angeles Rams at 4, my Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 5, Seattle Seahawks at 6, the Los Angeles Chargers at 7, Steve's Indianapolis Colts at number 8, and the San Francisco 49ers at number 9, and the Jacksonville Jaguar Duval at number 10.
At number 1, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. At 2, Buffalo Bills. 3, Los Angeles Chargers. 4, Detroit Lions. 5, Los Angeles Rams. Number 6, Indianapolis Colts. 7, Green Bay Packers. Number 8, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 9, San Francisco Niners. And number 10, the Seattle Seahawks.
All right, so I got the Buffalo Bills at number 1. I got the number 2, the Detroit Lions. I got the Philadelphia Eagles at 3. The Los Angeles Rams at number 4. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 5. Seattle Seahawks at 6. I have the I messed my own list up here, man. I was on the fly rewriting some stuff there. I got Indianapolis, Kansas City, and Green Bay. And by the way, Shohei Ohtani is not human anymore, man. He literally just first at bat. First 3 pitches into the game, crushes a home run, right off the rip, just waves goodbye. Shohei Ohtani is not human, man. All right, guys. Well, that was a lot of fun. We're going to continue to do that each week, so please tune in and you can check us out and jump on with us and go with us. We're going to make probably a graphic of some sort of post on social so you guys can interact with us. We'll come up with some ways so that you guys can interact with us. I'm going to go ahead and jump into our down-bad debate so that we can close out this show. Are you fellas ready? Because I know I am.
Yes, sir.
It's time for the down-bad debate.
All right, tonight's down-bad debate is going to be a fun one. We have ourselves a little bit of an interesting one here, and it's going to be which of these big 3 is the best duo in the league right now. This one was a lot of fun. It was kind of hard to figure out which one we're going to go with in this because there is a lot of good duos in here. I'm a Mavs fan, so of course seeing Cooper Flag on there with Kyrie and AD. I wanted to go, but I have to see what Cooper Flag can do yet, so I can't put them up there. You also have SGA out there and the Chet Holmgren, so that's a mean duo. But my pick is actually going to be the Spurs right now, man. I love Victor Wembanyama. I like De'Aaron Fox and Castleton, man. I like what they got building. They're all young, and I think they all can grow together and become something very, very special. So I'm going to go with the young bucks of this crew and go with the San Antonio Spurs for big 3.
Yeah, say, Steve, you act like the Oklahoma City Thunder are old or something like that, or that they're about to be washed out of the league or something like that, man. These guys are just as young. You got the Air. Well, I was gonna say who's on your San Antonio Big 3 again? It's Wemby, Castle, and Fox, right?
Yeah.
Fox is older than all of the entire OKC crew. What you talking about?
Not
man?
in my mind or heart, okay?
I know he's still friends to me. Dang it. No, I'm gonna go with the champ. I'm gonna go with the reigning champs. They are the best team in the league for a reason. They have, honestly, you could say they have the best core 4, really, if you want to add on Lou Dort to that list. But yeah, Chet Holmgren, with the weak side defensive help, being able to stretch it out on the floor on offense, and just even though he's a string bean, he's just able to get blocks when they need it. You've got J Dub, probably not probably. He's I think one of the best. One of the best second options in the game. I'll make sure I don't discredit myself too much there, but one of the best second options in the game for sure. 20 points, 25-5 a night, big steps forward this year, and then obviously the reigning defending MVP SGA, best two-way player in the game today, and on top of that, they just won the finals this past year. To me, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think the obvious answer is the OKC Thunder. So I'm gonna just go with my second best because. Why the hell not, right? So I think the second best for real is gonna be the Dallas Mavericks. I think no one can stop AD when he's healthy, and he's a top 5 player in the league. I know he has the stuff with his eyes, so he's gonna have to wear goggles throughout every game for the rest of his career now. So it's gonna be different for him. It's gonna be a different dynamic for him with his shooting, with his layup package, with his defense. But I still think that with him, Kyrie Irving coming back, obviously being healthy. I'm not talking about him being with a bum knee. I'm talking about him being fully healthy. And Cooper Flag coming in as he's going to be rookie of the year. I'm already calling it right now. He's going to be showing his great defensive skills, his great offensive skills. He's going to learn a lot from one of the masters of offense with the ball in Kyrie Irving and one of the masters of defense with Anthony Davis. Put that together, he's gonna get those knowledge and do what he needs to do out there on the basketball court. Man, I feel like this trio is just gonna top level every other trio in the league, honestly.
Yeah, I think I'm excited. Like I was saying, that is my team. I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, and I'm excited to see what this team is going to look like for sure. So I could totally see going with that one. I couldn't take Kyrie yet because of the knee injury in there. And I know that the Spurs one is an interesting pick. I just believe in Victor Wembanyama. I think that he's just continually just getting better and better and better. And eventually there's absolutely going to be no one that's going to be able to stop him. So I'm just going for the future in my pick and picking the San Antonio Spurs. And it's solely based off of, I think, the absolute talent that I think is untapped yet. That still has more room to grow in Victor Wembanyama.
Good point.
So who are you taking out, BC?
Oh, no, I got to go with the OKC Big Three, man. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize we were running through the summation right there, man. My bad.
Me either.
Yeah. I was about to say, Steve, you're going with the future. I'm going with the present right now in Big Three in OKC, Chet, Shea, and J-Dub.
Yeah, dude. I mean, again, obvious answer for me would be OKC, so I just went with my second best. I think the Dallas Mavericks. I think that 3 is going to be amazing to watch.
All right, man. That is absolutely fun, and we cannot wait to hear you guys' feedback on that, man, because these DownBad debates have been killing on social, so we really appreciate that, and we love all the feedback and the going back and forth and all of that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up for the night. We really appreciate it. If you guys didn't notice or didn't hear, the Red Sox did end up winning the game. I just figured I'd throw it out there one more time. They are officially up 1-0 on the New York Yankees, which always feels so amazing to say. All right, man.
Either way, so
just know it's the best out of 3, baby. Just know it's the best out of 3, baby.
Absolutely. Big G, Mike, got anything else for the people before we head out?
Yeah, guys, appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the live stream. If you please like, subscribe, share the show with your family, friends, or strangers. You're going to the tailgate to watch any of your teams play. Let them know about views from the stands, baby, because we on and popping, and we getting these dubs. And right now, the Yankees didn't get a dub, but just like I alluded to last week, baby,
fire,
best college team in the game, baby.
Shout out to that. Shout out to your boys, man. They be crushing it right now, man. Got to tip the hat.
Tip of the cap, and that is going to end it for us tonight. Like we were saying before, please go ahead and give a like and subscribe if you got time. Give us a 5-star review if you can. We're also, like we were saying before, we haven't really said it enough. We are on Amazon Music now as well. So if anybody out there uses Amazon Music, we are officially on there, and every episode you can always check us out on there. So we really appreciate everything you guys have done for us, and we are going to call it a night. And we will hopefully, everything goes right, we will see you Saturday. We got a big UFC fight coming up. We got some college football, Miami FSU. There's a whole bunch to get into, man. We really appreciate it, and we will see you guys.
After nose.
And we will catch you. Good night.